I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 174. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. Also, we still have our June contest going on. We are giving away one copy of Kingdom Hearts 3 to one lucky fan for the PlayStation 4. Please head over to our Twitter, where our contest post is up with rules for entry. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Well, I think we have a little sad news to bring up at the top of the show, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's words can't describe how devastating this is. I mean, gaming YouTuber known as Etika, very popular, on the gaming YouTube and gaming space. He actually was at the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo last year. He was found dead earlier this week. So, I'm always bad with bad news like this, because I never know what to say, honestly. So it's my thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
It's like real kind of weird because I didn't know. I knew him tangentially. I knew of this guy, him being like a YouTube personality streamer and all that, and the Dreamcast guy who we both like and follow on Twitter was kind of talking about him and how he put out this video that was kind of like a cry for help and this and that, and he was kind of real worried about it. And then I was reading up, and some other people were kind of talking about it. It was in the zeitgeist, and I guess a day or two later, I have the Citizen app on my phone for better or worse, and if people don't know, the Citizen app is basically like a police radio on your phone, right? People post up like things that go on and this and that, and like there's stuff going on in your area, and you'll get notifications on your phone. And there was a notification of a dead body that pulled up on the shore near like Battery Park, which is down near the financial district, like right where I work, right? And Etika is a personality who was living, I think, maybe in like Brooklyn, in around the area. Like he's a New York native, right? And I didn't really put two and two together. I was just like, oh man, dead body. I'm like, woof. And then, I posted it up in the work chat room at the end of the day because I was going home, and I'm like, oh, this dead body found in a thing or whatever. And then the next day, like someone follows up, and they're like, my coworker was like, I think it may have been this dude. And it turns out it was Etika, and, police ID the body. And I was like, oh. So it's kind of, it's basically, it's just a real sad story, like all around. And, he definitely had some mental issues. There was some bad people on the internet who were kind of pushing buttons too, which is, really something you can't do. Like just, saying some awful stuff and whatnot. A lot of people have thick skins, but it still doesn't give you the right to, say any of that stuff. And I think some of that like really got to him and kind of pushed him over the edge. And, he kind of took his life into his own hands. So, I mean, I guess like, it's like fair to say if you know somebody or you yourself are having suicidal thoughts, please call the suicide prevention hotline at 1-800-273-8255. That number again is 1-800-273-8255. You know, if you know anybody who's having any issues, you know, please reach out and get them some help. Or if you're having those kind of thoughts, please reach out and get some professional help. So, yeah.
I will say this. I don't think you know this about me, Dave, but I do suffer from anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really talk about that much. I mean, I know people that like suffer from like anxiety and depression.
Mm-hmm.
I have a family member who you know, fell into a deep depression when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, my family came together and got her to help, and she's still, it's, you know, that's something I don't think you can cure, right? She's still to this day in her I think she's in her 70s at this point. She's still is getting the help, still talking to people. But sure. I do suffer from anxiety. I have anxiety attacks all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I've like sort of hid it from the whole world. You would never know that I have that, but
right. And there's definitely a lot of people out there who do have mental issues, and you know, we're not saying that in an disparaging way. People shouldn't be ashamed that they have, you know, problems. It's just genetics. It's a thing. You know, you need to kind of speak up and get the appropriate help that you need. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not admitting defeat or anything.
Well, some people think like, you know, they're weak, right? Like because they have this. Or some people call them weak, and you're not weak at all. But you definitely need to get, you know, help. You need to get help, no matter what type of situation you're in and you suffer from. Mm-hmm. So take it, you know, like I don't want to downplay mine, you know, anxiety, but I definitely talk to someone every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any issues, definitely seek help.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's transition. Let's talk something, you know, let's go on a lighter note. Dave, how was your weekend?
It was a very good weekend. I was out communing with nature when camping for a little friend's birthday weekend. Spent a day and a half, maybe almost 2 days up in the wilderness. Had zero internet connection. Phones were completely useless. Everyone had no service whatsoever. We were just up there. We went tubing down the Delaware River. We went camping overnight. You know, the whole thing, setting up the campfire and all that. It was beautiful, Dan. It was beautiful.
Was it though? I mean, without the internet, you didn't have internet. I mean, that's crazy.
It doesn't matter.
Did you feel naked? Did you feel like naked? Like, because you're always connected.
It was a little bit weird because, you know, you never know if something important comes through.
It brings you back to the 90s and the early 2000s when we didn't always have internet with us.
Know? Yeah, there was no such thing as FOMO. There was no fear of missing out because you were there doing the thing or you weren't doing the thing, and that was it, you know? There was nothing else to be jealous about because you just didn't know. When we got back to civilization, we were on the way back, and then the internet came back. We got a hell of a ton of messages. None of it was important, right? But you think maybe hey, it's going to be real important. And no, it was just kind of like random stuff and like Instagram things and Twitter posts and this and that. And, you know, you were texting me, and my parents gave me a ring, and, you know, it was fine. I got back to everybody I needed to get back to. And
have you been camping before?
Oh yeah. I've talked about it on this show. I've been
listen. That's one Blair Witch night away from. No, I'm good. I'm okay. I don't need to go.
Come on, man.
I'm okay.
One time, I don't know if I actually told you this, but one time a bear came up, and it was like maybe 400, 500 feet away. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was just going through the garbage. So, you know, it was a brown bear. Brown bears are real kind of docile. They won't bother you if you don't bother them. He was just trying to find some food, that's all. You know, a friend of mine came knocking on my tent, and they're like, hey, Dave. They're knocking on the little, plastic cover. I'm like, hey, what's up? there's a bear over there. And I like peek out. I'm like, it's fine. It's just a brown bear. It's not a big deal. If it was like a grizzly, that'd be a different story.
All right. Yeah. Well, luckily you had your glasses on. You were like, oh yeah, that's just the brown bear. And no, it's like some bear you never saw before. It was the Loch Ness monster, or the Sasquatch,
super
the Bigfoot bear coming.
Dude, if it was actually Sasquatch, you know how much money I'd be making right now? They'd have me on every
You'd be dead.
Nah, get out of here. Get out of here. I have some outdoorsman skills, Dan. Let me tell you. All
you know how to make a fire?
I know how to make a fire. That's right.
With 2 sticks in a rock.
Sure. Some flint and tinder. I got that on lock, man. I will say this. At one point, we did break out the Mario Party. Somebody ended up bringing the Switch. He had his projector and a little battery-powered generator. And I was like, hell yeah, man. I got to totally win. And I was in the lead. And then the power went out. So one can only assume it's fair to say that I get the crown because I was in the lead.
No, that's not how that works.
That's how that goes.
That's not how that works.
What? No, I figured if anybody, my co-host, my near and dear friend, Dan Robinson, my co-host, would have my back. But you say no. You say no.
That's not how that works. You guys need to go back and play again.
Wow, there's no way to do that now. The moment's over. We can't recreate the exact scenario. There is no autosave. It's done.
Well, what lap were you on?
I don't know. We were maybe like 5 or 6 rounds in.
So you know me. If we were like on the last lap, I'm like, okay, everyone, we could just let's try to recreate this. Let's go through all the laps, get to the last lap. You stay here. Let me get in the lead. I think I was right about here. All right, now let's.
It's impossible. It's impossible to do that. The game is so random. You'd never be able to get to that point. Nah. But yeah, man.
All right, you know what? If it makes you feel better, you by default you won, because I would have said the same thing.
See, thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Also, too, I got some severe sunburn going on. My feet are like lobsters. Oof.
How did your feet get sunburned? I don't get it.
Well,
were you not wearing shoes?
No,
how does that work?
I was wearing sandals, and we always go tubing down the river, and you apply the sunscreen beforehand, but you're on the river for like 3 hours, right? And your feet most of your body is exposed, right? And at some point you dip in the water. Everybody dips in the water, and you kind of float around for a little bit, this and that. The sunscreen kind of wears off. I never got around to reapplying. So, yeah, it's a bad time down there. It's a bad time down there. Otherwise, though, it was a good weekend.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
From someone who doesn't really wear sunscreen, I still don't get how you can have sunburn on your feet. I don't get it, personally.
You never been to the beach?
I've been to the beach. My feet's in the sand or in the water.
Wait, why would your feet be in the sand? Then you're gonna have tan legs and like white feet.
You never just I'm not gonna. I'm.
Well, you would have
bronze.
Yeah. Sure. There'd be a little bit of a skin tone difference.
Like bury your feet in the sand, when you just laying out in the sand. You just
sometimes I'll do that. But I wanted to get coated a little bit, get a nice even tan across the board is really the idea. But
well, that's a whole new thing. That's tanning. I've never done that. Don't need to.
I guess not. You got a natural tan.
I got a natural tan. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bronze.
Yep.
So my weekend was pretty good. Didn't really do anything exciting, like see brown bears or go camping and have no internet. Almost get killed by the Sasquatch.
Almost get killed by
I wanted to start watching the final season of Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah,
so
right.
Didn't get a chance to see that. Hopefully by next show, I would have watched it already.
Mm-hmm. No spoilers, Dan. I'm still on season 2.
I finished Black Summer.
Oh,
I think it's called Black Summer on Netflix. It was like that zombie show.
Oh, I do not know. It's good though. Yeah. Is it good?
I thought it would be cheesy when I first I did it because I was like, I started like a few weeks ago watching it, and I was just like, I was came home from drinking, didn't know what to watch because I couldn't go to sleep, and I was like, I'll just do this Black Summer thing. I wonder what this is, some zombie show, Netflix. It was pretty good. I got to be honest, it was pretty good. The first episode was confusing, but after that, it was, they're literally just trying to survive, and the whole focus of season 1 is getting to, getting here, I'm not going to say anything, but like getting to this destination.
Feels like the first season of The Walking Dead, right? They got to get to the CDC. That's kind of like their way. Get to the CDC and everything will be okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It feels that same kind of arc.
Same premise. It's the same premise.
Right. Okay. I'll have to give it a spin.
No, the difference is there's no like standout lead.
Mm-hmm.
Like you knew Rick Grimes was the lead. Like
the
you knew
guy.
He's the leader. Right. Like he's the guy. He's not dying. Right? There's no standout lead in this case because people that's been here since like the first episode just die. So
yeah, okay.
I was like, I thought he was going to be around. No, they just killed him like unceremoniously. He's just dead.
Game of Thrones style, right? Your favorite character could and probably will die.
Just
there you go.
Interesting. But I was sort of taken back this weekend when I found out that Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft sort of had like a joint letter to the president, to President Trump, about the tariffs. And I was thinking about it. I was like, we widely suspect that 2020 is when we're going to get the new consoles, right? The PS5, Xbox Prime, as we coined it.
Yeah, I mean, we got some stuff from Microsoft out of E3 saying Project Scarlet. We got a trailer. We have confirmed that Halo Infinite's going to be a launch title for the next Xbox. We didn't get an official name, but all of that leads me to believe that they are obviously in the midst of it. They are working on this console. I would be hard pressed. I would be very surprised if it didn't come out next holiday 2020.
But a lot of things are made in China. Even if it's not assembled in China, the systems themselves, a lot of parts, a lot of chips, and a lot of parts.
100%
are made in China.
Apple's like manufacturing. It's either China, Korea, Taiwan, like that whole area. Very, very, very cheap labor. Yeah.
With these tariffs that Trump has put on China, that just comes to the consumer, right? Like the consumer pays essentially those tariffs. We're going to be paying that. So,
well, ultimately, yeah, because you can say like, now there's a 10%, 20% tax or this or that or whatever on goods coming into the country, these type of goods and whatnot. And you're 100% right. They will just pass that along to the consumer. We're not going to eat that up. Our game consoles now will be $520 or $540 or whatever it is, or $600.
So we see, the speculation is like the consoles will be sort of where the Xbox Scorpio the Xbox One X and the PlayStation Pro would be. At least I think so. I think they'll be around that price, $400-$500.
Yeah.
If they're $450, $420, $520, $550, we'll know that odd number, that extra little $20, $50, $30. It's probably us eating the tariffs that we put on China. We're going to eat that. So that's just interesting that they, once again, they come together. They try to, they're coming together for the forces of good, right? They all came together on the stage at the Game Awards, and now they're coming together again as a joint letter. I don't think it was going to do anything personally. I think
Trump is still going to do what Trump does. Yeah,
he's still going to be dug in and doing the tariffs. It's just controllers are going to be. It's not even just the consoles. Controllers are going to be more expensive as well. So
yeah. I mean, it's going to be all the accessories and the whatnot. I mean, it could even be the games that go up by a little bit, right?
But I think the games are going to go up anyway. To be honest, I think the games are going to. I think we're primed for the games to go up a little bit.
It's
right?
Xbox primed.
I think we're primed for them to go up because they went up to $60. $60 seemed to be like the sweet spot last gen, right? The beginning of last gen.
The two generations before, it was on the 360 and the PS3 that the games launched at $60.
Yeah,
and
that was last generation. I said last generation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess it is last generation. Right. And
don't get ahead of yourself. We're not there yet.
And that was that last generation started in 2005. So it's almost been like 15 years, right?
Years. Yeah.
Right? It's just kind of natural that they would go up a bit more due to inflation and this and that, costs and like whatever else. We could be seeing $65, $70 games in this case. So that coupled with the tariffs, I think
gaming is going to be an expensive hobby. Even more expensive hobby than it already is.
Yeah, even though right now it's still a little expensive, but yeah.
And then we get Google Stadia, right? So you say, hey, no, all digital future, everything's going to be cheaper, right? Mm-hmm. But reports now that even with Google Stadia, games are going to be full price. No matter if you're paying for the service, the right to stream anywhere, but you're gonna have to buy the game, and the game's gonna be a full price game. So whatever market value the price is, right? So if it goes up to $60, $70, $65, $70, you're probably gonna have to buy it on Stadia too. The difference is you're not really owning the game. You're buying you're not really even buying the game technically, right? You don't own it. You're not gonna have a physical copy.
Yeah, I guess not.
You don't even have it downloaded anywhere. You bought the game to stream.
Well, that's actually interesting. I wonder if they're gonna let you play it offline. If you're gonna be able to download it to your system.
No, it's all streaming. From what we know, it's all streaming. It's not like.
But that's just, that's really hard to...
It's not like Games Pass where you get to download it and play it offline. You don't need the internet
to
play it after you downloaded it.
Right. But that kind of sucks. So you're paying $60 and then also on top of that, I guess you're right, because the whole purpose of Stadia is to take out the high price of all the PC equipment, right? You basically just need a very low powered PC with like a monitor. Or maybe not even. You just need like a way to hook up a Bluetooth controller and have a monitor and some sort of internet connection, and then you just stream it straight up. So yeah, it's a little bit of a hard pill to swallow because it's $60 plus the price of Stadia per month, right?
Yeah, well, some games will be in sort of like that Games Pass type of thing where Stadia. You pay in, and some games will be already there free, like Destiny 2.
Assassin's Odyssey 2, I think, is going to be tossed in there, I think.
Yeah, there will be a list of games.
Right.
Not a large list to start with, but it's a list of games. But then you have to, but new games, it's probably just new games. You're going to have to buy the game, but you're not buying the game, you're buying the right to stream the game.
Right. And I guess it's fair to also, because I'm looking at like the price tiers and whatever right now. There is the free version, which is capped at 1080p, 60 frames a second. So you can just use the free tier and, pay $60 and play that game as much as you want. So that's not as bad, right? As long as you still have that piece of hardware.
Until something happens and Google gives up on this.
Well,
shuts it down.
There is that too. There's caveats either way, right?
And you paid $60 for 50 games over a couple of years, and you don't own them, and you just really bought the right to stream them,
right?
Technically,
and
what a future we have! What a future we have going on for games.
If you think we're joking, just take a look at Google Reader, Google Buzz, Google Plus, Inbox, Google Wave. We could go on. There are thousands and thousands.
Google
Glass. There are thousands and thousands of projects, tech, gear, services, this and that Google just says, sure, we got tons of money. Go ahead and try this thing out. And they build it. And they build it to where it's good enough to put it out, and it's in beta for a bunch of years, and then everybody gets on it, and they're like, "This is the best thing ever," and then they're like, "You know what? Nah, we're gonna kill it." And it's like, God damn it, Google.
It doesn't meet their standards. It doesn't catch on. We'll just kill it. It's fine.
Right. Jesus, like an episode of Game of Thrones. Do not get attached to any particular piece of service that Google offers, because they will kill it off. Everything's a Ned Stark, all right? Except for like search and Google and Gmail, everything is a Ned Stark, all right?
And YouTube, right?
YouTube, YouTube is pretty much here to stay. They found a way to monetize the crap out of that thing, so that definitely isn't going anywhere. But everything else is up for grabs.
Here's a side tangent, right? Is that more? It's not really a gamer grief, even though I could make it a gamer grief if you watch games.
Listen. Either way, Dan's angry. So go ahead.
I'm angry.
Have the stage.
All right. What's up with this dual ads now? You seen this? This is a new thing that happened.
What do you mean by dual ads?
So explain. You're watching YouTube, you get one ad. Okay, some of them you can skip after 5 seconds, right? And then some of them you have to, just wait it out for the 15, 20 seconds, whatever. Now they have it's dual ads. It's two ads where, okay, you have this one ad. All right, I'll watch it for 20 seconds. I don't have a choice. It goes over and then they have another ad. I got to watch for another 20 seconds. It's getting like actual real television. They're going to have 5 or 6 ads.
I'll tell you this. I don't know what you're talking about because I have the YouTube Red. I am on a family plan with a bunch of people. I go right past the line, Dan. I go right past the line.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm rebellious. I can watch one ad, but I don't know if I can watch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got the dual ads now. It's driving me nuts.
It's tough, man. You gotta get on this YouTube Red. It's great because you also get YouTube Music for free. And you also get the YouTube Originals, which is part of YouTube Red. So you get stuff like Cobra Kai. And
What about TV?
Yeah, I think you can watch some stuff like that. I'm not sure about their live streaming content, but I think they do have some stuff. It'd be worth checking out. I think it's only like $10 a month. I'm pretty sure it's only like $10 a month.
Another service I gotta.
But you can get up to like 4 or 5 people on the same plan. So you can just kind of split it X amount of ways and only pay like $2-3 per person.
It's not bad. Maybe I will look into that.
No, because that's
I do want to finish Cobra Kai. I saw the first half of the season for free.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, if you want to watch the rest, you gotta sign up for YouTube Red. I was like, no, I already saw 6 episodes. I want to see the rest.
They already have season 2. Season 2's out, and they already announced season 3.
But I want to watch Twilight Zone. That's on the CBS service,
right?
And I don't want to pay for that. It's all these services.
Wait a minute. You have cable, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so then you should be able to get streaming via your cable provider and be able to access that.
I thought I had to pay for CBS Online.
Unless it's specifically on their online service, you should be able to get it. If it's on regular TV, you should be able to stream it. I don't know. You're talking about the Jordan Peele one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's $10 it's limited commercials for $5.99 a month and $10 a month for commercial free.
Oh well, maybe it is exclusive to their service then. Damn.
No, it's exclusive. No, it's exclusive. It's not on TV. It's exclusive to CBS All Access.
Well, that's a different story then. Yeah.
And they have the Twilight Zone, and they have Star Trek, that new Star Trek series.
Yeah. Discovery, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Discovery, I believe, is on TV, so you should be able to stream that.
I don't think so. I think that is. I think that's exclusive. Huh. I watch NCIS and all that stuff. That's on TV. But I think Star Trek Discovery, the Twilight Zone, all of that's strictly on the CBS app.
All right.
Which is a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing with DC. DC has their app,
right?
And they have all their shows, and they're canceling a lot of their shows. The Swamp Thing was after one season. It was canceled.
I didn't even know Swamp Thing was a thing.
Swamp Thing is back. It was more
yet
grittier. But that's, DC did something right with that. That's supposed to be gritty, not Superman. That's
Right.
Superman.
Right.
But they put it out there. You go watch season 1 of Swamp Thing. Everyone says it's pretty good, but creative differences and low viewership because not a lot of people subscribe to that DC online. So
No, because who would? There's not much on there.
All right, let's get into a segment that I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot about last week because we had a lot going on. We had a lot going on in the month of June.
Yes, we did. It was a jam-packed show.
Notable games coming out next month. So we're gonna do notable games coming out this month.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with Stranger Things 3, the game. It's coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC. That's coming out 4th of July.
This is coinciding with the delayed start of Season 3, which is also premiering July 4th, which is awesome.
We talked about it. That looks awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not so sure I'm looking forward to playing the game. I mean, I love the 16-bit art style.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like sort of like Stranger Things meets Hotline Miami meets Double Dragon.
Yeah. Did you not play like Season 1 and 2?
I did not.
Oh, those games were great, man. They were like they were top-down like action adventure games. Kind of run around Hawkins, the town of Hawkins, and it was a little Metroidvania-ish because you would get new characters and new power-ups, and that would unlock different areas. It was done like really well. I completed both those games, 100% at all of them. I can't wait for part 3, man. I'm super hyped for the show, and I'm super hyped for the game. Let me tell you.
All right. Well, that makes one of us.
Yeah.
Or just you.
Come on, man.
I'm super hyped for the show. I'm not super hyped for the game.
All right.
But I am super hyped for this game, and I'm going to buy this game. And we played this game at PAX.
We both both played it at PAX East.
I was all about this, and I got the Contra collection, right? So I've been, I haven't picked it. I haven't played it in a few days, but I was playing it last week, and this is sort of like a spiritual successor. It's just like this is like a new Contra, and that's Blazing Chrome, coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, July 11th.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna pick this up on the Switch. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, same, man, same. I want this on the go. Want to be able to break off the Kit Kat controllers and 2-player anywhere. It's 100% meant for that. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, but I don't see a physical release though. Limited run if you're listening.
You don't see a physical release yet. They're gonna make like this weird special edition thing where you get like the guy and he's gonna be on the bike and it's gonna be like $200. I'm totally gonna snatch that up.
Or it'd just be limited run for $30.
Sure. Also good too. I'll take the standard edition. I ain't picky.
You are picky.
What?
You are picky.
I ain't picky. Get out of here.
A game that I'm looking forward to, and that is Dragon Quest Builders 2. Never thought I would be looking forward to a Dragon Quest game, but Builders game, Dragon Quest Builders. I played it on the PS4. The first one,
right? Yeah,
I'm all about the first one, and we played it at PAX as well. I'm probably gonna pick this one up for the Switch, and this is coming out July 12th. Another game I'm psyched for that I'm definitely picking up, exclusive to the Switch, and it's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order. That's coming out July 19th.
Man, it's been like a good 10 years since we had an Ultimate Alliance game, right? It's been a while.
I have Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 for the PSP.
Pretty sure I have the PC version of the first one. It's, they were always like solid kind of beat 'em up games. This is going to be that to 11, I think, right? They're kind of jam-packing it with all the superheroes, so you're bound to have the guy that you love. It's going to have Iron Man and Wolverine and the X-Men, I think, and
No, it's just weird to see Magneto with an Infinity Stone, right?
Right.
I mean, if you're a comic book guy, old school comic book guy, it's not that weird. But if you're really into the movies, it's like they've been separated for so long. It's like to see Infinity Stone in the X-Men universe and see mutants in the Avengers universe is weird. Totally weird.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Next, we got Fire Emblem Three Houses coming out on the Switch, July 26th. Not a big Fire Emblem fan. The last Fire Emblem game I bought was the Dynasty Warriors style Fire Emblem game. It came out for the Switch and the 3DS, and I had it for both. So probably not going to be super hyped for this.
You were not crazy about this game, but
I'm not.
I
know it has a huge following. I know.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is the traditional turn-based tactical combat that everyone knows and loves. It's not the Muso style Fire Emblem Warriors or any sort of like mobile offshoot or anything like that. It's back to form. So definitely about this.
Okay.
It's just definitely gonna pick this game up for sure.
And lastly, Wolfenstein Youngblood. It's coming out for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Stadia. Whenever
Yeah. Sadly
not
not
right now. Later on this year, if you have the special edition, and then next year, if you want to try it for free.
Yeah, sadly, it's not on the Switch. Which
no.
It is
It is coming to the Switch.
Oh, just not right away.
Download only.
Ooh.
No physical copy.
Is that also coming out on the 26th though? Is that the question?
I think it is also coming out July 26th.
I see. Okay, interesting. So it's like
but it's no physical copy coming out. It's only
coming out on all 5 platforms. We have to consider the Stadia a viable platform now. So it's coming out on all 5, which is weird to say. Well,
it's funny because you can play it. You can play it at home. You can play it on the go, or you can stream it. You can do anything you want. We just need one of these games to be VR, and then it'll complete the whole circle of everything you can do with all the technology out there.
Yeah. I mean, we do have Wolfenstein VR, right? Is that right? Or we have Doom VR.
We have Doom
VR.
Yeah. So Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Well, I have not been playing much because I was away camping this weekend. But during the week, I was able to squeeze in some time, and I beat Dead Cells.
Wow! Finally, you beat a game. Finally.
Now, get out of here, Dan.
Finally, it didn't take you 20 years.
I did beat it, but basically, I just unlock a harder difficulty level. So now I can play on boss cell 1. I can put a boss cell in, turn it up to hard mode. There are 3 more difficulty levels that I can unlock, or 4 more difficulty levels actually that I can unlock. So it keeps going, and they really ramped it up. So there's like all new enemies, there's invisible enemies now, there's brand new enemy types, and on top of that, the health flask, which you could use to recover health. You could use that a limited number of times while you were going through a stage, and you could refill it in between every stage. They basically kill the health refill area. The flask is physically broken. When you go there and you're like, I'm just going to re-heal up. No, you can't. So you only get like 3 or 4 charges for the whole entire run, which makes it very difficult. You immediately change your tactics up. So my mind is like all over the place. I don't know what to do, Dan. I don't know if I can beat it.
You can. It'll just take you another 10 years.
Hey man, that is a large amount of value in a game. All right.
We'll be on episode 1260, and you'd be like, "Guess what, guys? I finally beat Dead Cells."
You know what? That would be 2 good things to celebrate. All right, we hit past episode 1000, and I beat Dead Cells on the hard mode, so I'll take it.
Well, all right. Did you get any good pickups this week before you went camping? Before you went camping, after you went camping?
How about while I was camping, Dan? How about I got a pickup while I was camping?
Ooh.
So,
okay.
Friend of a friend, my friend Matt, who came camping with us, he was like, "Hey, I know you collect video games. I know you love video game stuff." Our friend Roger was cleaning up, and he found this thing. Do you want it? And he sent me a picture, and I was like, "Hell yes!" because he was just going to throw it away. And what it is, it's a little Luigi that has a little golf putter, and it's hooked up to a Famicom controller. And I believe if you hit the buttons on the Famicom controller, you can make Luigi swing and putt the ball.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And it is sealed. It is brand new. It is sealed. It has a date of 2007. So it's not like super, super old, but it is like 12 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's...
And when I got back, I had my eBay purchase came in, so I got Icewind Dale for the PC, which I thought I was buying a complete in box. I was buying it complete without box. So I have everything, even like the strategy guide, all the discs, the manuals, all the stuff that comes with it, but no box. So I'm a little salty. But
complete without box.
Yeah, complete without box. Can that be a new category on eBay? CWB. That's
actually funny.
A CWB, complete without box. It's got everything, just not the box.
Nice.
Yeah. So happy to have that in my collection. So yeah. What about you? Have you got any good pickups? Or more importantly, what have you been playing?
They are synonymous. They are one and the same.
They are synonymous. All right.
I only got 2 pickups, and those are the 2 games I've been playing. First is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night for the PS4.
Ooh, finally came out. What do you think? Is it good?
It is a modern day Symphony of the Night without the really good music.
Without the really good music.
The music is okay. The music is okay. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Right. The music doesn't stay with me, I should say. In fairness, I've only played an hour of it. I haven't played a lot of it. I want to go back to it because a lot of my time has been playing a game that I didn't know I would like so much. I thought I would be a little tired of Mario platformers, but Super Mario Maker 2.
Wait a minute.
On the Switch.
Wait a minute. It's Mario Maker. You love the first one, right?
Well, I mean, I made a handful of levels.
Sure.
I'm not a designer. I'm not buying this to make levels. I'm buying this to play levels.
Play levels. Sure.
And they have the story mode. I'm going through the story. I'm trying to rebuild the castle. Basically, to rebuild the castle blows up because it was an accident, and you have to rebuild it before Princess Peach comes back, right? So you have to beat levels not made by traditional Mario designers. So some of them are labeled easy, some of them are labeled really hard, and every time you beat a level you get points or you get money, currency. Well, yeah, you get coins, I should say, and you have to pretty much you have to accumulate coins so you can help rebuild the castle. All right, so if you want to build the main castle, you need 1,200 points to buy supplies and have all the toads build the castle. So it's really fun and different. It's not a traditional Mario game by any means. It's out there. It's all over the place, and playing different style Mario games, right? Because I'm playing Super Mario World. I'm playing Super Mario World, Super Mario 3D World type games. It's awesome. I love it.
Nice.
It's different. Yeah? I haven't played any community made levels yet. I haven't even tried to make a level yet. I've just been trying to rebuild the castle. I am 50% done.
Oh, wow. You are kind of cruising through that single player story mode.
Well, I'm trying to complete all the easy ones, all the easy boards first, and then try to tackle some of the harder ones.
Yeah. Would you recommend it? Because I did really enjoy the first one. I just didn't put a lot of time into it. I don't think I got my money's worth out of that game. I definitely don't think I got my $60 out of it.
Because of the story mode, I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because the story mode reminds me of NES Remix, the NES Remix.
Oh, interesting. And I guess it's also fair to say that I can play it on the road, right? I can take it on the subway.
Yeah, you can take it on the go. It's like Mario Remix. like that's Mario 1, Mario 3, Mario World. The new the 3D Mario World, right?
Yeah,
3D Mario.
Yeah.
So it's just like challenges. It's like, okay, well, you got to jump on all 10 trees before you hit the finish line, or there's a challenge there where you can't jump. It's like you have to get to the finish line without actually jumping.
Interesting. All right. I'll have to give it a look. I'll have to give it a closer look, because I was kind of going to be like, I'll wait until it goes down in price, but it's never going to go down in price.
It's never going to go down.
That's the problem.
It's a Nintendo. It's a Nintendo game. It's not going to go down in price.
All right.
I would pick it up. It's a really good buy.
So why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we're going to do something a little bit special. We're not going to get into the top 10 gaming news of last week. We have a special guest, my friend Derek Lieu, a video game trailer creator. We're going to get into all of that with him. We're going to talk about the industry a little bit and get his thoughts on E3. And we're back. So, we have a special guest on the show today. We have Derek Lieu.
Hello.
Welcome. Derek, you are a video game trailer creator. Is that fair to say?
That is accurate.
So, me and Dan were actually kind of curious how you got into the whole kind of trailer game.
Because that sounds like an awesome job. I was just like, how is that even a job? Like, that's awesome. Job. It's like a dream job.
Yeah, I would say that is accurate as well. It was kind of a long road. So after I went to college for film, by the way, you might hear my cat meowing in the background, just fair warning. So I went to college for film at NYU, and I was an assistant editor at a movie trailer house for a few years when I graduated. So I was pretty much always interested in trailers like my entire life. So that was a dream job. And I was there for 3 years. And then after that, I had a job as an editor at a DVD production house, which is that's where I met Dave.
Yeah. We were there for a little bit. Or I was there for a little bit.
Yeah. And I just did trailers it was like anime and Japanese movies. So I did trailers for their new releases. Then they just were on the DVD menus and sometimes on YouTube. And then I got laid off from that job and I was unemployed for a while. And around then is when I started doing some fan trailers. And the first one I ever did was for Metal Gear Solid 4, because if you know, Hideo Kojima edits his own trailers and they're super duper freaking long. Like none of them are like the Hollywood style kind of tightly edited
quick
trailers.
Cuts and all that, like minute and a half in and out.
I really liked this game, so I'm just going to make my own and just try it out. And then I had a lot of fun doing that. So then I got a capture card and started making trailers for like Uncharted games, because those were a lot of fun too.
Love that series. One of my favorite series.
And then I worked a little bit for this Nintendo like weekly news show for like 6 months. It wasn't like official Nintendo. They were like contracted by Nintendo for this news show. It was really not a good show at all. And then I moved to San Diego, and that's where I got some of my first like official game trailer work, because I have a friend who works at the Behemoth, which is our friend Anna. And so I did some trailers for Battle Block Theater, which is the Behemoth's third game. And I did a little bit of work for Sony PlayStation when I was in San Diego, just like a couple small little things. I think only one thing I ever made actually got released to the public, which was like a compilation thing for like Infamous and Ratchet and Clank or something like that. It was like these collections. And when I was in San Diego, I still tried to get a little bit of indie work by kind of posting on forums saying, hey, I can do trailers. Do you need me? And I got like some really small projects from that. But things took off more when I moved to Los Angeles and I got a job. Well, first I got some freelance work at a trailer house in Los Angeles that works only on video games. And I think the first game I worked on there was Sonic Boom, the Wii U game.
Oh yeah.
I think I did 3 trailers for that.
Infamous Sonic Boom.
Yeah. I remember when we were when I first saw footage of it, I thought, oh well, it's not done yet.
No, that was the final product.
Yeah. So and so I got a bunch of freelance work at that company that first year, but it was kind of off and on. So that first year was kind of rough. But then they hired me on full time for the following year. So I got a lot of work then, like on my reel. And then after that, they had to do some downsizing. So I got laid off, but they pretty much called me back right away because some work came in. But then when I got laid off, I just kind of put a call on Twitter saying, hey, I'm looking for game trailer work. And at that point, this guy, a friend of mine, his name is Kurt Gartner, who is like indie trailer guy. Like he was probably like the first person who like, this is indie trailer guy. He gets like way too many requests for work. So he just started emailing me referrals, and that got me a lot of work there, and just kind of snowballed until like, I would say within the last 3 years, I'm more or less full-time. I mean, this year and last year, I think, or maybe the first years, it was pretty much only indie game trailers.
Right.
But then before then, it was kind of a mix. Sometimes I was still going into agencies or trailer houses and doing a little bit of work there. And now things are looking up.
Yeah, I mean, like looking at your kind of reel and the stuff you have online. I know you did the Mortal Kombat X trailers.
Some of them, yeah.
which were awesome. I mean, Mortal Kombat is such a great and storied history, and you got to work with one of the guys from System of a Down, which must have been like super cool.
That was a weird thing.
Yeah. He seems like a nice guy, though. Yeah.
He was really nice. What was his name? Shavo Odaijin. How do you say his name? System of a Down. Shavo.
That sounds about right.
Odajian, something like that.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, that was a weird thing because they're saying, hey, for the launch trailer, they're licensing the Chop Suey System of a Down song. We don't know what the direction is. Why don't you just start editing something? Oh. And I was thinking like, I mean, this is basically like an AMV, like an anime music video. So I just started editing, and this was like right before I think I went to PAX West maybe that year. And then when I was on the trip, they called me or emailed me and said, hey, the bassist from System of a Down wants to come into the office and work on this with you. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then they like made this whole production. They like brought in a camera crew to like film us editing together. And then they like interviewed me, which then I had to go on and edit the behind the scenes about myself editing the trailer. That was really weird. I ended up cutting myself out of the whole thing. Or they said, just remove the parts with you. I'm like, that's totally fine. I don't want to be in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just pretty much, we had my cut, and then we would kind of go back and forth, and you would suggest like parts of the song to be syncing up certain shots to. And, he was really, really nice. And it totally was it was more fun than I thought it was going to be. Like I was a little bit worried. I'm like, what's it going to be like doing this, especially like on camera and everything. But
right. Stakes are very high in that case.
Yeah, so it was cool.
Yeah. Is he like a gamer at all? I'm actually kind of like, I'm a little surprised and curious that he wanted to have such a big hand in working with the trailer.
I feel like he had played some Mortal Kombat games, but I didn't really remember. I don't really have a good sense of how much he games like regularly.
But even if he's not like a gamer, I mean, like Street Fighter, Mario, Sonic, Mortal Kombat are like synonymous. Like the public knows what those are, right? Yeah. So even if he's not a gamer, he knew what he was getting into. Like Mortal Kombat. Oh yeah, I know Mortal Kombat. Oh yeah, sure. Everybody has like a Mortal Kombat Street Fighter story from back in the day.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that he actually either directed a lot of their videos or was somehow involved with the making of the videos. So, because at first I'm like, why is the bassist coming? And he's actually worked on videos before, so that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, and they have some like really interesting videos too. So I kind of like their aesthetic, I guess is the word. And you can definitely see a little bit of his hand in the trailer, which is amazing. If you haven't seen the MKX trailers, you should definitely check out Derek's website. And
I did the launch trailer. I did the Johnny Cage trailer. There's like a Combat 2 Pack 2 trailer, and actually, true story, there's a Jason DLC for Mortal Kombat X, and the Friday the 13th sound, like the that sound.
Yeah, iconic sound.
In the game, that's me doing it.
Oh, no way!
What, really?
Because I had to do it for the trailer,
right?
And I guess they hadn't done it yet, so they said, "Hey, can you just send us your files?" And like when my boss told me that, I'm like, "Don't they have like professionals to do that?"
Right.
They're like, "I guess it's done. It sounds good." So that's me.
Oh wow!
And I don't really know too much about Friday the 13th. I only know a lot of that from my friend Keith back when I was working at the movie trailer place. He loves Friday the 13th, and just every now and then I would just hear him going shh, shh, shh. So then that's why I knew about it. And then like when I had to do it for the trailer, I just watched like every single iteration of that sound from all the movies just to kind of see if there was like a certain way that it sounds, like a kind of make sure I got it right.
Well, it's it's interesting you mentioned that. Well, hey, like wouldn't they just be able to do it in house and this and that? But that's not necessarily always the case, especially like if you kind of look at the trailer work, like you would assume like, oh, it's a video game house, right? They have tons of computers and server farms, and can't they just have one of the people do like video work? And that's not always the case, right? You may have kind of a small crew. Could be a crew of one working on the game, right?
I mean, especially with indies, but even with the big companies, usually they're not going to have a video team. I mean, some of them do. Like, like a publisher like Activision will have a video team, or Naughty Dog has a small video department. Blizzard or Riot. And when Telltale was still around, they had someone in-house making their trailers, or at least a couple people, I think, because I know some people who used to work there.
Yeah.
But most people contract out.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about TT games. It's very close to my heart. Yes, I know I do call them TT games, just because I always mispronounce Telltale games.
Well, actually, but that gets a little confusing because there is a TT game.
Yes,
who make Lego games.
Yeah, but when I say TT games, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Gotcha. Very close to my heart. Loved all the TT series except for not Lord of the Rings. It just the HBO.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yes,
yeah.
I'm not a Game of Thrones fan. I know people don't crucify me, please. I'm probably gonna get into it after it's done, and I binge watch all seasons.
Yeah,
it's fine.
The TV show's pretty good, except for the last couple seasons. The video game, not so good.
I think it's the worst out of all of them. I rather the Jurassic Park TT game from 2000 and 9, 11, one of their first ones.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they spent all the money, all their budget on getting the license, and then they said, "Uh-oh." Now what?
But I'm curious, when you do a trailer, obviously you're seeing stuff that the public isn't privy to. Do you have to sign in like an NDA?
Surprisingly, not that often. They just it's usually just like I just work on it.
I guess it's more like a trust that you won't leak it, because if you do, they won't give you any more work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's absolutely no interest on my end to leak something.
Right. Right. Why would you? Yeah.
Yeah. There's no reason. It would be like this really. I think it would be like just such a short term. I can't even call it a benefit at all. Like there's just like really no reason at all to do it.
You got a couple hits on Twitter, a couple of likes, and then
and I don't even have that many followers. But I guess
you won't be able to leak anything else ever again.
Yeah, I would briefly get followers, hoping that I would leak more, and that's the only reason they'd be following me. They'd be like, "Why this guy just talking about trailers and cats all the time? Otherwise, I'm going to unfollow you now."
Yeah. We saw a video from Mark Brown pretty recently, and I mean, obviously, we know that you've been in the trailer game for a while and kind of doing all that stuff, and I came across Mark Brown because of the Boss Key series, right, where he
Yeah,
started
super
to
good.
go through all of the Zelda dungeons and like analyze like why they're good or why they're not good, and kind of like break down the mechanics and how the levels open up. And I was like, this guy knows what he's talking about. So I
Yeah.
immediately subscribed to him, and I consume everything. And he did one recently that was really neat about the anatomy of a trailer, I think was what it was called. And
It was something like that.
right. And your name gets dropped like almost immediately. Your work is heavily featured in there. I said, "Oh my God, I know that guy. That's Derek. that's fantastic." And it was really kind of neat because I never really thought about it, how much goes into like putting a trailer together, be it for a movie, a TV series, or like in this case, a video game, right? And there's kind of like a rise and this and that, and you got to build the tension, and you got to put the right things in there, and not give away too much, not have it be too long.
Yeah, that video is a really good summation of a lot of stuff that I talk about. In fact, I just pinned it on my Twitter profile because I'm like, wow. I write a lot about making trailers on my website and my newsletter, but he just took a lot of like the best, most key points and just put it into one video. I'm like, okay, you did a better job than I did, so you can speak for me. I'm featured a lot in this anyway.
Right.
So that was really cool. He messaged me saying, hey, I was gonna make a thing about trailers, and I was gonna, is it okay if I feature some of your stuff? I'm like, oh yeah, totally. Like, I'll give you files if you need it. And like, he turned that around really fast. I was amazed. I mean, I know it's his full-time job, but as someone who's trying to get more into making YouTube videos, like similar to that, I'm like, wow, that was fast.
Right. Because you know what it takes to put all that together, right? You start from the concept, you storyboard it out, and then you got to do all the the cuts and the work and kind of the revisions on that. So.
Yeah, I actually don't really storyboard very often.
Oh.
Pretty seldom, actually.
So you kind of just like go in with like, here's like a chunk of video. I think this would be a good place to start, and then you kind of build from there. Is that like a bit of the process, or?
Well, it depends on the game type. So if it's like a narrative-focused game with a lot of dialogue, then I'll start with the dialogue and the voiceover. So then I'll basically go through and find the bits of dialogue that I think are good, and then put them in an order that basically tells a story within the trailer. And then from those lines of dialogue, I'll think like, okay, what shot should go with this, and what shot should go with this, and then kind of build it up that way. And then for gameplay, it's kind of like, it's almost in a way like making a video version of a game tutorial, because a lot of game tutorials or levels, like you think about Mario, it's always like introduce an idea and then expand on that idea and then twist it around. And trailers for like gameplay trailers pretty much just do that. So I'm always kind of surprised whenever I see game trailers made by game developers and they kind of don't follow that format. Because I'm thinking like, you already know what is sort of good pacing in terms of the game, just kind of put that into the trailer. But you want it to be like kind of simple concept at the beginning and then gradually get more excited until the very end, like you're using all the weapons at the same time or something like that, So there is like something of a process that I have that involves just a lot of capturing the gameplay and then a lot of just watching the gameplay and organizing it, and then just trying to think about what are like the key messages to tell with each trailer.
Do you have like a time? Do they give you like a time limit? Like we need an X trailer within 2 days or a week?
If they say that, I say I'll recommend you someone who can do it in that amount of time. Not saying I can't work fast, but at this point I get booked out usually at least a month ahead. More and more, it's like maybe more like 2 months. So like right now, for example, I pretty much know what I'm doing through August. But I mean, like the fastest I've ever turned around a trailer was either the Quadrilateral Cowboy trailer or the Ooblets trailers. I did those in like 5 to 7 days. And those ones are some of the only ones that I probably could do that fast, just because they had really, really good debug camera options that just made it really, really easy to capture for those games. and they were just really, really strong in terms of visuals. So it wasn't hard to think, okay, when people look at this game, they don't know what's going on. When you look at those games, you can pretty easily tell what's going on. So it wasn't as hard to think of the concept. But time limit, usually they contact me at this point like a month in advance. And then also in terms of just the trailer's time limit, usually there's nothing unless it's going to be on something like E3, where maybe you're at a press conference and you've only been allotted 60 seconds or 90 seconds, but usually that's the exception. People always come to me and say, oh, I need a 60 or 90-second trailer. And I say usually, well, is someone imposing that time limit on you? Or are you just saying that because other trailers are that duration? Because it should just only be as long as it needs to be.
Yeah.
No point in just arbitrarily hitting 90 seconds because other people do.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think that's fair. And then it's also kind of fair to note is, even if you are given a tight timeline, you say, you know what, all right, I can do this in, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever it is. But there's always going to be some sort of revision period, right? Where they come back and they say, well, this looks great, but, and then, you need that to kind of take it, process it, turn it around, and then send it back again. And, hopefully it's good. And then they can kind of kick it out the door. But
yeah, at this point, if you're going to give me that little time, I'm just going to say, okay, this is going to cost double or triple.
There you go.
Because I'm going to have to pull overtime.
Right.
And also, you're going to basically not have time for revisions. So, yeah.
Because I mean, you're looking at the pyramid in that case, right? You have 3 corners of the pyramid, and there's price, speed, and
good.
Right. Price, speed, and good, and then pick 2. Right.
Right. Exactly.
Only get 2 of those. Which is kind of interesting, and it's a great analogy. And the first time I heard it, I was like, wow, that makes a load of sense. Right.
Yeah.
If you want it good and you want it really quick, then you got to sacrifice cost. Right. It's going to be double or triple or whatever it is, because and I think I know too. Like working in web development and whatnot. Somebody wants a change, or they want a new feature, or they want a whatever. It's like, well, I know I can build it out in maybe 2 to 4 hours, right? But there's obviously going to be management time. There's going to be back and forth on the client. We may have questions on this feature, so that 2 to 4 turns into 4 to 8, sometimes even 8 to 16, depending on the scope. So you always kind of have to give yourself that buffer, just in case, because.
The other thing to consider is if someone's not thinking about the trailer until a week or 2 before they need it, then that's probably a sign of other things too. Maybe these people don't plan ahead.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Maybe this is going to be a Sonic boom. You never know. Just maybe.
Sonic boom in terms of working on it was totally fine.
Right. Yeah, I am. I'm really not sure what. I mean, I know what happened with that game. They basically rushed it to market for the holiday season, but that kind of really blew up in their face.
There was a really in-depth article on Polygon, I think, about its development, and one part of it was the engine that they were using was really not known for being used on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Unreal
I think
engine,
also,
right?
I think it might have not started as a Wii U game, so they had to change, and that must have made it really difficult too. So it sounds like they had a lot of problems, and at a certain point you run out of money, so you just have to ship it.
I suppose, or shelve it. I mean, it is Sega. They do have a reputation to take care of, right? And to put out another bad Sonic game is kind of diluting your bread and butter. It's
Sonic, true, but
Sonic made you as a
they
company,
must have made some sort of business calculations to be like, look, let's try to recoup something,
right?
Because it's this close to being released. So that's above my pay grade.
Yeah, but they could have took the route that Nintendo does, right? They could have just let Metroid Prime 4 be made by the other studio, and obviously I don't know what happened with that, but obviously Metroid Prime 4 wasn't really ready for Showtime.
I'm sure it was a time and money sort of thing, because Nintendo, they have a good bed of money, I imagine, that they can make that sort of call. But third party, it's different economically. Which I'm not a huge expert on, but I've just read a lot of articles about. just how like it's different when you're like Naughty Dog working for Sony or Media Molecule, because the economics of selling games when you're first party versus third party, it's like different. Like maybe like God of War didn't have to sell as many to make their money back as say like Titanfall 2 or something like that, because God of War, they're probably also selling consoles at the same time when God of War comes out. So
sure, and then Sony can also turn around and bundle it together with the console too. So then it's like, we've sold tons of units of God of War, and the numbers end up looking good because of that. So that's definitely kind of interesting. So I mean, like, is there a particular like favorite trailer, or I guess like something that was kind of like a dream to work on? Because looking at the list, especially the list of indie games, there's, I think our favorite game in a long time, Katana Zero, Dead Cells, which is a personal favorite of mine, Firewatch, which Dan is head over heels over.
I love Firewatch. And you know what? To be fair, you put me on a Katana Zero. Dave, we went to E3. He had a private. He had an appointment.
Or a Penny Arcade, PAX.
Yeah. And he was raving about the game, and I was like, I don't know, it's one hit kill, not really my jam. And he's like, no, you got to try it. And I was sold. I was sold. I really love that game.
I mean, Firewatch was a dream job for me. When they asked me to do that, I'm like, oh my god, amazing! 'Cause I was just looking forward to it so much, and I was fans of a lot of the people on the team. And like I was thinking in my mind, like, oh my god, when this game comes out, I'm gonna make a fan trailer, and all these things. Then they asked me to do it. I'm like, oh my god, amazing. I mean, I feel like a lot of stuff that I've worked on is kind of like a dream gig sort of thing. I got to work on the console release of Gone Home. Quadrilateral Cowboy was a lot of fun to do. I was looking forward to that game too. And Katana Zero was a lot of fun because that game is just so ready to be made into trailers.
Right? Yeah, there's all the, I mean, like the visual and the kind of synthwave aesthetic of the whole entire game, just like
and the
it
music.
exudes cool.
Yeah, and the music.
Yeah.
Oh, and Spelunky 2, totally dream job. I was like, what? that was amazing.
Yeah, you got to work on the second one for that, Spelunky 2. Yeah.
Derek Lieu was saying that his daughter thought it was very funny that we both had the same name.
Aww.
Both Asian guys wear thick black frame glasses who are named Derek. Like, that's so cute.
So I guess like you've definitely kind of run the gamut, indie AAA titles and whatnot. Is there one particular I don't know, say like a studio or one particular like developer that would be like, this would be the one? Is there anything that you're kind of like really itching to work for?
Well, I mean,
given the opportunity,
my dream is to basically be called into certain places like a pinch hitter, sort of. Like it's like, we have a video department, but we need Derek to do a trailer for us. Like if Naughty Dog did that, that would be amazing.
All right.
Like, we need you to do a trailer for Last of Us 2, but I know they have their own department and someone makes their own trailers. That would be cool. I mean, making a trailer for a Kojima game would be pretty cool.
He seems like the best. I did get to meet him at one point in time. I think actually it was either you or Anna hit me to the fact that he was doing a signing at
was it Uniqlo?
Best Buy, actually. He was doing a signing at Best Buy.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because Anna and I waited in line for when he was at Uniqlo, and she had made a bento box with the duck clock from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, wow.
So she made a printout of it, of the photo, and then had him sign it.
Oh, that's cool.
We waited overnight
really cool
for that.
That's incredible. I had him sign the, and I'm actually looking at it right now, the Metal Gear Peace Walker. That was sent. Somebody sent it from TGS, and I was like, "This is really cool." And I had it for a while, and then obviously he came around, and I'm like, "I'm gonna have him sign it. It's gonna be the best." And he couldn't be nicer. He was really nice, and I had the thing framed up, and I love it. It's probably one of my prized video game possessions, I think.
Yeah, I would also. I mean, I'd like to work on any Nintendo game. That would be amazing. But they have their own people. Let me think. I would love to do something for Double Fine, which, I mean, I'm actually friends with some people who are there, but they have the 2-player productions people in house doing stuff. But
Oh, really? Interesting.
you know, if I were to get a chance to work on Psychonauts 2 trailer, that'd be amazing.
Oh my god.
I'm looking forward to that like crazy.
Yeah, definitely can't wait for that.
I don't
may
know if I
have
got to work on a. Oh,
I was just going to say, I may have to break out my Raz costume from a couple years ago once Psychonaut 2 comes out, because, my God, I put a lot of work into that. My friend helped me make the helmet, so the whole hat thing is like custom.
Yeah.
And, I even got, like, the striped shirt and the jacket, and me and my friend, we made the patches, and we ironed them on to the satchel. Like,
nice.
There's a lot of love into that costume, but...
And he wore that at PAX 2017.
I remember seeing a photo, maybe.
Yeah, he wore it at PAX at 2017, I believe. And
I think that's right.
Guys with Double Fine was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" Like I took the picture of everybody. They were all excited.
Yeah, they were like here, like your patches look a little ratty, and they did. They were falling off because they were iron-ons, and then they also gave me the Raz plush, and I'm like, I am friends with Anna who made the Raz plush, and they're like, you know Anna? I'm like, yes. So we all took a photo together. It was a really good moment. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a good a photo montage of Tim Schafer taking the Raz plush out of the bag. And you just see his expression. He's like, "Oh my god, yeah!" Super cool.
Yeah. Schaefer's a real good dude. I bumped into
he's
him.
Super nice.
I bumped into him. I want to say a couple years before that. I was dressed as the guy from Brutal Legend.
Oh, nice.
I ended up getting the book signed, and he was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Wait, check it out," because I built the axe, and the axe lit up.
Awesome.
Our friend Joe helped us wire up the lighting for it, so it was a little push button thing that turned on the lights, then it would simulate the lightning from the lightning axe, and he was super
nice.
Cool. He was like, "Oh, that's awesome." So yeah. So I mean, like, E3 just came and went, I guess, right? E3's kind of got a blitz and this and that. Was there anything that kind of shook out of E3 that kind of got you excited?
Probably not as much as you might think, or I'm trying to think of like all the big releases or the big trailers. Not a whole lot stood out that I was like, oh my god, I gotta follow this. Absolutely. I mean, Ghostwire looks really cool, but it's CG trailer, so how much can you actually know?
Yeah.
What was it? The what's the time looping one with the assassins killing each other?
Oh, the one where you're in the house with the wife and it starts unraveling?
No. He's thinking of the Bethesda one, right?
Was it like Deathloop? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Deathloop.
Yeah, that looks cool.
But we didn't see any gameplay. That was my only problem. We got no gameplay. The cinematics look awesome, but how is it going to play out?
Yeah, I mean, it's still early, clearly. One thing that I'm really looking forward to is John Wick Hex. Have you seen that?
I did definitely hear about that. That's a prequel to the kind of John Wick universe, right?
Yeah, and it's being made by Mike Bithell, who made Thomas Was Alone.
Yeah.
That game looks really cool because it's sort of like half turn-based, but basically, as far as I understand, it's all about kind of making the right decisions, like on the fly as John Wick. Like, do I throw this guy over? Do I shoot this guy? Do I throw the gun? Do I dodge over here? That sort of thing looks really cool.
Yeah, it's very much, I think, falls in line with kind of the movie aesthetic, right? John Wick is kind of a quick paced, run and gun, like gets into a situation. What do I do? Acts on the fly, and that's kind of like brought to video game form.
Yeah, and they've been kind of coy about this, but I assume there's going to be some sort of like replay after you beat a level, like where it does like a cinematic playthrough of what you just did or something like that. But they haven't actually said that's a feature, but they've basically said enough that it sounds like it's going to be a feature.
Ah, nice. Yeah, it reminds me of Katana Zero, right? After you beat that particular area, You can kind of do the rewind mechanic and then see how it all played out. And you're like, is this good? Is this not good? Do you want to redo it? That was kind of neat.
And the Breath of the Wild sequel, of course, that looks amazing.
Oh yeah, that was like a big surprise. I don't think anyone was really prepared for that just yet.
Yeah. And a smaller indie game, there's a game called Spiritfarer, which I think it played during the Microsoft press conference. It's basically you're playing this character who kind of transports people to these like anthropomorphic animal creatures, people to I guess the other side, like they've died and they're passed on. You have to transport them. You like build a house, and you have like this cat companion, which of course that means that I'm on board. But I saw that at the Mix at E3, and just the animation and everything was super duper cute. So looking forward to that.
Ah, nice. Do you have any thoughts on the Cyberpunk 2077? Because I think everybody went like crazy over that. They're like, hey, it's one of like the biggest games. It's the hype train is real. It's happening. Yeah. We now kind of have a launch date for it, so it's kind of palpable.
And listen, Keanu Reeves is in your ear. You have more. You have the one in your ear the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, the Keanu Reeves thing was fun, but in terms of the actual game, I can't really get myself very excited about it. Also, by the way, my cat is playing with plastic. I'm sorry if that's
no worries.
But yeah, the actual game part, there's nothing in it that's, I feel like, so distinctive that makes me think, oh my god, I have to play this Cyberpunk game. I don't know. It just seems like, it's obviously gorgeous, super high budget, crazy fidelity, created a like cyberpunk world, but there's nothing in there that like makes me think, oh, that's different. I think like a lot of games, AAA games, get a lot of hype just because of like graphical fidelity, and that doesn't really work on me that well.
Fair. And like obviously the scope's going to be huge, right? It's I would almost say on par with like Red Dead maybe or whatnot, where you can travel this vast landscape. I mean, they have vehicles in the game for a reason, which says to me that, well, there's going to be a lot of mileage, so you need a kind of a way to get around, other than just being like, hey, a cool thing to tick off that say we also have vehicles. But I think I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I think where I am with games at this point, like the most exciting thing you can tell me is like 10-hour campaign. And I'm like, yes, I will play that game.
Yes, you know why? You know why that excites you? Because you are a GMG.
A GMG?
Yes.
Is that's a term that's used? What is that?
That's a term that we coined.
What does it mean?
You're a grown man gamer.
And Dan's been saying it since I think the beginning, since we started this podcast 3 odd years ago, and I would always groan over it, but it makes sense.
But he's grown over it, but now it's growing on him. It has. I mean, he's warmed up to the acronym.
I have to say, the concept makes sense, right? All of us have 9-to-5 jobs. We don't have infinite time anymore like we did when we were kids. So, you can't stay up till, 2 a.m. on a Saturday, like playing Final Fantasy VII or whatever it is, right? You have a finite amount of time. So, like a 5 to 10 hour campaign is kind of appealing. You can get in, you can see, you can play an engrossing story and, get out and then go, hey, I feel accomplished. I can tick, game X off. Right?
Give me the Order 1886 any day. Give me the 6-hour campaign. I'm good. I know I could beat it in like a weekend.
The funny thing is that even though I say that, every now and then I end up spending a lot of time on a game. Like Hollow Knight, I beat the main campaign. That's a big game, but it's so good.
Right.
So I spent like 40-50 hours on the game, and I haven't even gone through much of the DLC. Or like I check my playtime on Tetris 99, it's like 40 hours.
Oh my god. Have you
that's like a little bit at a time,
Right. Have you gotten that first place spot?
Oh yeah.
You have. Okay. I feel bad. I can get to number 2, but I have not taken the gold. I feel very lacking.
When it first came out, it was easier. I think people changed tactics or something like that at some point because it's a harder now, and I think there is probably some sort of strategy about how you attack the other players that I don't really feel like learning. So I could probably get better at it if I really, really cared. But at this point, I'll just play it a little bit every now and then, just because I like Tetris.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like it's still really fun. Like, who would have ever thought that the battle royale mechanic would work in Tetris? All right.
Yeah.
That's like kind of like the be all end all. It's like you think first person shooters, that's fine. 100 men in the field, boots on the ground, everybody kills each other, one man standing. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, Tetris.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Tetris, I also probably spent at least 40 hours on Tetris Effect.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good.
So a lot of hours on Tetris this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, super good.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming you played it in VR, yeah?
It's pretty much what made me get it, because I already have a Vive. But for PSVR, I was thinking, what are the exclusives, that sort of thing. But then Tetris Effect, I'm like, okay, screw it, I'm going to get it one.
Yep.
I got like a bundle.
I really hope they make a sequel to that game, all right? Because there's so much more they could do with the environments. Like it's great as is, but I want more out of it. I want more levels, more music, more everything.
I just want them to release the official soundtrack. They still haven't. I have this like 3-song playlist on my YouTube account, which just has some Tetris Effect songs, because I just played them on loop for like weeks, I feel.
yeah, same. So, that's awesome. So we before we let you go, Derek, we do have one very important question. It's one question that we ask all of our guests. We need to know the best game of all time. Is it Super Mario Brothers 3 or Super Mario World?
Now, no pressure. No pressure. There is a right answer and a wrong answer, by the way. Just so you know.
First of all, I'm gonna preface this a little bit, because I didn't actually grow up with either Nintendo or Super Nintendo, so I didn't have the part of my life when I would have been playing these games, every single day and learning every single thing. Like, I don't even remember if I've even beaten both of them, like, legitimately. So like I was pretty much like Game Boy kid, and then I got a PlayStation 1, and then basically played emulators when I got to college. So I came to a lot of it sort of late, but I did go to friends' places, of course, to play the games. So I'm going to say Super Mario World.
Yes! Oh! Yes!
Well,
correct answer.
One half of Rated G is very happy.
Right. Correct answer.
I think it's because...
Yes.
I think it's just the different power-ups and everything made it easier for me than Super Mario Brothers 3. Or at least that's my general feel when I think about those two games. Like, in my head, when I'm thinking about them right now, I'm just thinking, oh my god, Mario 3 is harder than World. And also I like Yoshi.
Yoshi's great. And the whole audio mechanic too, when you jump on Yoshi and it adds another layer to the background music. It's a very nice.
Yeah. So I think I've probably played more Mario World than Mario 3, because I definitely had a friend in middle school and elementary school who had a Super Nintendo. So I played a bunch then. And then pretty much when I got the emulator, I just actually played just as much as I could, because like, I finally have it. And then of course at this point I got the Super Nintendo Mini and everything.
Listen, you can't go wrong with either choice. Super Mario Brothers 3 is a fantastic game. I love that game, by the way. It's the best game.
It's the best game of all time.
On NES. You're right. It's the best game on NES. But it comes to Mario games. Super Mario World trumps them all. I got to tell you. I love Super Mario World. The levels are a little bit longer, whereas Super Mario 3, the levels are a little bit shorter, right? That's why you have that little continue bar, where just in case you died, you can continue in the middle of the level. And Yoshi, and the little details to the music when you jump on Yoshi, like you gotta love those, especially the Star World, so you can get around faster. The little cheats. So, but you can't go wrong with either one. It's just Super Mario World's better.
Somehow also I survived my childhood seeing The Wizard, but not really getting to play much Super Mario Brothers 3, even though, oh my god, I wanted to play it so bad, because every kid did, because marketing.
Of course. We all wanted that, and we all like got tricked into buying the Power Glove.
Oh God, yes! Don't remind me about the Power Glove.
I didn't have a Nintendo, so no Power Glove for me.
Listen, I'm old enough to remember.
Did I want one? Yes.
Oh, of course.
I'm old enough to remember when Super Mario Brothers 2 was sold out everywhere. And then when I got it for Christmas, I was so happy. It was either Christmas or my birthday. I remember I got it for like a special occasion, and I was like, "Oh my God, I thought it was sold out." And they was like, "Nope, we got one." And I watched my father play it for God knows how long until he let me play.
Yeah, I definitely did a lot of watching my friends play Nintendo when I was little. Because, like, I don't have it, so I'm not good at it. So whenever I would start playing, I would just die, like, right away. Like, just use up all my friends' lives in Contra.
Oh, yeah, right. Just hit select, and they're like, oops. I hit the button by accident.
Just jump on the platform. I keep missing. It's moving. It's hard.
So... Yeah, all right. Well, we want to thank you again for coming on the show. This was kind of great, getting into deep into kind of trailer talk and whatnot, and it's kind of neat to get into something that not necessarily a lot of people kind of think about, right? Everybody knows about the game dev process, but they don't necessarily know that there's a whole process to kind of doing promotions and cutting a video that gets people hyped. So.
Yeah, more people need to know about it because there's so many games that come out, and most people are just making their own trailers, for better or for worse, like indie developers. Yeah.
Well, do you have anything that you want to promote?
Well, you can go to gametrailereditor.com, and you could subscribe to my newsletter. Every single week on Sunday, I write about making trailers. You can go to my YouTube channel. If you just look up Derek Lieu, you'll find it. And I've been this year trying to make a lot more videos about making trailers, trying to like make video essays, that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm at Derek_Lieu on Twitter. And as said, I tweet about trailers and cats and maybe Kung Fu occasionally.
Nice. So there you go. Yeah. So go check Derek out, and also go check us out. We are all over the place. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Rated G for Gamers. So please go on there and do all the good stuff that you guys do. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.